Hey guys, it's Mike. New month, so we're going to talk about my Sky Striker deck. Not a whole lot has changed with it, but we're going to talk about a couple options revolving around Thrust at the end for some things that I would run if I had those. So to start out, the 4 aces, pretty standard. You don't have to run Rose as much anymore, but I like playing her, so I do. Now we'll go on to the hand traps. 3 Ashe. I really like her with how generic she is, and this build is more like you don't necessarily know what you have at your locals, so it's a good generic build for going second. And in that same vein, we've got 2 Nibirus, just a good card for a lot of rogue and things like that, in case you don't always know what you're going up against, and 2 Effect Veilers. That's it for the monsters. We'll cover the traps, because the only traps this deck runs pretty much are hand traps. Imperm, they are really nice. They're extra copies of Veiler effectively, but you can use them during your opponent's turn, and they're your only answer for things like Naturia Beast, so it can be really helpful to have these. I never play Striker without them. Alright, now onto the bulk of the deck, the spells. 2 Engage. If they're going to let us play 2, we're going to play 2. And then 3 Anchor, one of the best spells in the deck. Probably the first one I send with Hayate most of the time, because it's really good to get back Anchor. And then if you don't have a hand trap, set it, but if you do, keep it on your turn to try to steal your opponent's monster to break a board or kill them with access code. And 3 copies of Linkage. This is pretty much why you don't need Rose anymore. This is your copies 4 through 6 of your ace, with Rose being your number 7, not counting your tutors, of course. Alright, then to finish out the rest of the Sky Striker spells, 2 Afterburners, 2 Multi-Rolls. I don't like playing 3. This card's a little dead when you draw it sometimes, so I like 2 because it gives you more of an option to draw it, and it's a decent throw off of Hayate just to get spell count if you want to keep the rest of your spells and you need something to get your 3. And then for the singletons, we've got Area 0. It can be good to help you clear the board, and it's useful to send off of Droplet, which I'm playing, to pick up another ace, Hornet Drones, and Shark Cannon. Sometimes I've played 2 Cannon before. I don't think you need to right now, but it's a good option to know that's there, and we can only play 1 Drones, and honestly, it's probably the worst out of your Sky Striker spells anyway, so we just play 1. Then we've got 3 Droplet. It's bad against Kashtira, but it's good against just about everything else, and it's really useful for getting spell count in Striker, because you can send spells that are Chain Link 1. So you can Chain Link 1 another spell, Chain Link 2 Droplet, send the spell you Chain Linked, and then get the 3 spells in your yard if you had 2 already, which is really nice. 2 copies of Talent. It's a really good card in this deck, and it's a spell, so we play it. 2 Lightning Storm. Since this is a hard go second deck, I like maining Lightning Storm. You don't necessarily have to, it's just what I like to do. 2 Book of Eclipse. It's good against Kashtira, Flu, some other things. That can also be Book of Moon. I'm just playing Eclipse, honestly, because I'm using my moons in my other decks, and Eclipse is fine. And then for the singletons, we've got Terraforming, Reinforcements of the Army, and then I play 41 cards, and the 41st card is Upstart Goblin, since this really contributes to adding to your spell count, and it's effectively free. Okay, so into the extra deck. The Sky Striker monsters are pretty standard. We go 3 Kagari, my favorite card in the whole deck. I really like Kagari. She's one of your best ones. 2 Hayate. And 3 Shizuku. That's pretty standard. You don't really see a lot of difference in that. Then for the final Sky Striker monsters, we've got 1 Zeke, and I've got 1 Azalea. I don't think you need more than 1 of her. She's kind of hard to get out sometimes, given that she requires a light and a dark, and all your other extra deck aces besides Zeke aren't light and dark, so you either need to steal something or you need to go exactly Ray Rose into her. Then I'm playing Hita and Dark. There's a lot of Ashe, and Dark is just really good. I don't play Celine. I've never really felt a need to, so I use these to link climb into Nightmare Unicorn. and Access Code Talker, which is normally how you end games. Currently, I'm playing Underworld Goddess. If I had the Bestials, I'd be doing Chaos Angel, which we'll talk about in a second when I get over to my sideboard. So my board is the same as it was last video. It's 3 bells, just really good against things like Branded and anything that's trying to target stuff in their graveyard. D-Barrier, just a really good closeout card. And then if someone makes you go first, it can be really nice to just be able to shut them down. 3, there can be only ones. Not a whole lot to talk about there. It's a good floodgate. 3 Cyclones. And 3 Dark Ruler No More. Cyclone is nice for the banish, and Dark Ruler No More is just good at dealing with problematic boards. Now, if I had my thrusts, I'd probably not play There Can Be Only One, and one of the things I know I would be playing is Herald of the Abyss. So I don't want to play 3 of this necessarily, which is why I'm not running it, but if I had the thrusts, Herald is really good, given that it's a spell version of a kaiju. It can be really helpful for things like Pearly, or getting rid of an Arise Heart, or any other monster that's kind of obnoxious and sticky. Well, that's my Go Second list, and I hope y'all liked it.